Carlos, I want to go a little bit deeper into the current situation. We're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, and so a lot of people are afraid, they're concerned. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. Do you think that you need to adjust your copywriting in any ways to match this current need? Because the world is very different now than it was 3 months ago. Have you adjusted your copy at all?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean,
let me go a little bit deeper into that. Do you think that your copy should be more about we're in this together, or this is the problem that we solve?
It can actually be a little bit of both. The thing that you want to take away from this is you want to be as transparent as possible. So one of my Facebook ads, I sell in the religious niche, and I also sell just in the internet marketing space, like a lot of other folks. So internet marketing space, is highly regulated now by the FTC. The feds, as soon as you start making any kind of volume, you start getting looked at and stuff. So you have to watch out with what you say. So one of the things that I kind of figured out was, I'm just going to tell people the truth, right? It sounds crazy, right? It doesn't. So all you do is I went to the FTC's website, looked up internet marketing, and it says, here's what an internet marketing scam is. And I copy and pasted their entire description of what an internet marketing scam is. And I literally pasted that as my ad. And at the end, I basically say, now this is what an internet marketing scam is. To avoid these types of scams is to get with someone who's legitimate, book your call now and talk with one of our coaches. Because we literally put an entire disclaimer as the ad, and that ad worked so freaking well. My closer didn't have to really close people because they knew we weren't lying to them. We were literally telling them, look, there's tons of people who invest $5 grand into a course and don't ever get anything out of it. They invest 20 grand to a funnel, they never make a freaking sale. Yeah. We're not those types of people, but you have to understand that is a reality of business and life. The big difference is we actually stick with you so that we work with you for the next 3 or 6 months. So if God forbid you don't see sales, you still have someone you can rely on to work with you through that. So you're being transparent. We didn't really change our offer. We still build funnels for 15 or 25 grand for people. But the biggest difference is we stopped saying, hey, do you have a funnel that needs to be built? And we started saying, hey, here's what a scam is. You got to watch out for all this stuff, especially now with the coronavirus. People are taking advantage of you. Don't get taken advantage of. Talk to me instead, because I'm the one telling you all the stuff, right? So it's very interesting. I would say that we were already kind of going in this direction anyway, but I think because of the coronavirus, there have been a lot of scammers out there scamming people. And like even banks are telling I get emails from Bank of America saying, watch your bank account for recurring charges and this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is crazy. So to avoid a lot of the headaches of that, just be extra transparent. And as long as you're what I call paying to play, as long as you know your numbers and you're spending money on Facebook ads, you can do stuff like this, or YouTube ads, or any kind of paid media, because as long as you can control your numbers, you know how much it costs to acquire a lead, you know all that good stuff, you can kind of do almost, I don't want to say you can do anything, but you can do a lot of these things that may seem counterintuitive, like copy and paste something from the FTC that would normally, people would say, oh, if I post something from the FTC that's talking about how my service is a scam, people are not going to want to hire me. But that's not true at all. You just warn people of all the other bad versions of other people in this, you warn people of all the bad people in our industry and they come to you.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that you're always trying to think outside the box, because if you're just trying to do what everyone else is doing, you don't stand out. And trying to think outside the box, like that FTC example, is very, very important. And I think that segues nicely into my next question about testing. So let's say you come up with an ad and you think it's great, you love it, you're going to post it up. How many different iterations of that ad are you going to put onto Facebook?
So we do it, I don't have an exact number for you, but one of the things that we'll do is like Facebook allows you to put in multiple headlines and it'll automatically just start testing it for you. Okay. So we probably do like 3 or 4 different headlines, and then we have a bunch of different pictures in there, maybe like 5 or 6 different pictures. And then it kind of just rotates with the same body copy, but with different pictures and a different headline. Yeah. The body copy hasn't been the most critical. It's so funny because most people think from a copywriter harp on this copy, but it hasn't been the most critical thing. The picture is really probably the most critical part of the whole deal because it stops people. And if you don't stop people, the best copy in the world is irrelevant. So that's probably the biggest thing I really try to focus on. Instead of switching copy, which can be, it could be a little bit of work. Some people write faster than others. If you try to write 10 ads, it may take me 10 minutes. It may take someone else 10 hours, who knows, right? So, but it's much easier to change a picture and still get some results that you can start testing quickly.
I like that. I like that. You certainly don't want to just, I think a really common mistake of newbies is they just put up a post, they boost it, and then they're like, it didn't work. I think I'm going to just go back to direct mailing people. I think that's a pretty easy mistake to make.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm curious, what do you think about email marketing? Email marketing has been around a long time. I know personally, I very seldomly will open up an ad. What do you think, where do you think email marketing stands in the current workplace?
I mean, you still need it. I don't want to say it's like the end all to be all, like what I used to say years ago, because response rates have dropped down. Like I'll probably get 10% opens on something I used to get like 30% open rates on, right?
Yeah.
So it's just dropped down 100%. But it's like free money. They're already on your list. As long as you set up an autoresponder for, you know, a week or 2 weeks, or the longer the better, that's basically free money, because you're not paying for these people to continue to be on your list. They're already on your list. They've either opted in or purchased something from you. I look at it like it's just found money. It's not like my main, I'm all email marketing going crazy. Maybe I should be. But it's just like gravy on the train. I rely on my Facebook ads and then my back end memberships that I push people into. And then the big thing that really works for us is we use a software or platform or something called Twilio, and it integrates with our funnel. So whenever somebody purchases from us, they get an automatic text saying, hey, here's your purchase, because that way they actually get their order delivered. Everybody checks their phone. But if I were to send their delivery through email, it may go in the spam box and I could get a refund because somebody just didn't get their freaking email, right? Yeah. So I don't want to handle that, or I don't want to deal with that. Another thing that really worked well with the Twilio and text messaging thing is we no longer send people to opt-in pages, only on very rare occasions. I'm actually about to do it now, so I can't really say that. I'm actually going to do this now. But 80-90% of the time, we don't do that anymore because it's too easy now to send them to a low-ticket product to purchase something for like $5 or $7. We can at least try to make back our money. And even if we don't, they're just a much better quality lead because they had the intent to purchase something, right? Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then with Twilio, we get like our results are far better than with abandoned carts using text messages and email. So when somebody were to abandon cart on our funnels, we would send them 3 emails and all that good stuff, but it wasn't really getting that much of a traction. Like we really wasn't working that well. But as soon as we switched to just having text messages go out to anybody who abandoned cart, I mean, it's so much better. We get sales every day from text messages because as soon as they leave the site, an hour later, they say, hey, you forgot your necklace. Go check it out here. It's free. Just cover the shipping. Something, you know, and we hit them every day until they buy or die. And it's
and that's all automated too, right? You're not physically going in there and typing the text. You've set up this infrastructure, this backend. And I think that's really the power of the internet and leveraging these automated systems. I do the same thing with Privy. I've got, you know, a half dozen to a dozen different emails. So as soon as someone signs up for my email list, I can get a better feel for what they're interested in. I really like that idea about texting because, you know, I'm much more likely to look at a text than I am an email, I think.
Well, it's also annoying. Nobody likes to see that they have a reminder on their text message. Most people like to clear that shit out, even if they don't. Even if it's spam, we open spam and like clear that. I want it back to 0. You know, at least that's me and a lot of people I know. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. But if you see I mean, I have 50,000 emails in my inbox that haven't been read. So it's like 50,001 isn't going to catch my eye. You know?
Well, and I think that's why it's important that you're trying to filter in the right type of people too. That's something that you can really execute on with good copy. You don't want people signing up for your email list that have no intention of actually reading your emails, right? Do you have any tips or tools, Carlos, that can help people to actually filter in and bring the right people in?
Yeah. So one of the things that I do is I actually, like I said, I mainly don't do those types of, like I don't do an opt-in page anymore. A very rare occasion. I'll actually share an occasion where I will use it. But most of the time I don't do that because you get it freebie seekers. That's what you're paying for. You're getting a bunch of people to opt in for a free report or a free newsletter or a free XYZ. It's just not as powerful of a lead. But if you send them to a low ticket product page, even if they don't buy, they put in their information with the intention to buy, and that's a different type of opt-in because even though they came onto your list, they put in their information on this buy page and then put in their credit card info, they've now been added to your abandoned cart list. And an abandoned cart list is very valuable for anybody that's trying to do high ticket sales as well. So you can call these people and say, hey, it looks like you almost invested in our XYZ program. For some reason, it didn't go through. I just want to follow up and see if you're still interested in that. And they usually say, Yeah, absolutely. I just didn't have my card on me, or I was driving, or whatever the thing was. You can pick up a lot of sales because the intention behind those types of opt-ins is they wanted to buy something. It was just a conveniencing of why they didn't. They didn't have their wallet or whatever it is.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, even your worst case scenario is they say, you know what, this wasn't for me, I'm going to unsubscribe, which isn't necessarily a bad thing anyway,
Right.
you know, because you don't want to pay for all these bad leads in your list.
Right. So I'll give you an example of when I do use it. So I have one of our sites, yourcasestudy.com. It's where we sell people a done-for-you funnel. And basically, it's an opt-in page. However, the opt-in page says accepting new client, or now accepting clients, discover how entrepreneurs in whatever city are building an online business, something along those lines. But it's basically, and it's basically a pitch. Like, they know what they're getting into. There's no like free shit. Like the free, I'm sorry for cursing. The free thing on here is like, hey, get your free case study that we're going to, so where we show you how we do this thing that we want to do for you. And literally on the headline though, it says now accepting new clients. So anybody who opts in understand, and they opt in with name, email, and telephone number. So, and it's a force, they have to do the telephone number. They can't opt in to get the case study. So they know we're going to call them. They know this is about getting clients because it literally says now accepting new clients. So that's the only time when I would do an opt-in page where I'm not trying to break even, because at least even if I don't break even on that front end, I have a higher chance to trying to close a higher ticket deal, because the intention, they already know what they're signing up for. They know they will be getting pitched something. It's just a matter of what.
Yeah, super, super smart stuff, super important, because you don't want to spend your time chasing people that aren't going to convert to anything meaningful.
Right.
Really like that. Really smart, Carlos. Carlos, before we get into the world famous rapid fire here, please tell everyone where they can find out more about how to get great at copy.
So if anybody's interested in hiring us to write copy for them and build them a funnel, you can actually go to that website I just dropped, which is yourcasestudy.com, yourcasestudy.com. And if you're interested in learning how to become a six-figure copywriter, then just go to 3hourcopywriter.com, the number 3, so 3hourcopywriter.com.
Got it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I've got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.